counsel forbear. Why shouldest thou be smitten? Then the prophet forbare and said, I know that God hath determined to destroy thee, because thou hast done this, and thou hast not hearkened unto my counsel. And Azariah the king of Judah took advice and sent to Jehu the son of Jehoahaz, the son of Jehu the king of Israel, saying, Come, let us see one another in the face. And Joash king of Israel said unto Azariah king of Judah, saying, The thistle that was in Lebanon sent to the cedar that was in Lebanon, saying, Give thy daughter unto my son to wife. And there by a wild beast there was in Lebanon, and trode down the thistle. Thou sayest, Lo, thou hast smitten the Edomites, and thine heart lifted thee up to boast. Abide now home. Why shouldest thou meddle to thine hurt? And thou shouldest fall, even thou and Judah with thee. But Azariah would not hear, for it came from God, that he might deliver them into the hands of their enemies, because they sought after the gods of Edom. So Joash the king of Israel went up, and they saw one another in the face, both he and Azariah king of Judah, at Bethshemesh, which belongs to Judah. And Judah was put to the worst before Israel, and they fled every man to his tent. And Joash the king of Israel took Azariah king of Judah, the son of Joash, the son of Jehoaz at Bethshemesh, and brought him to Jerusalem, to break down the walls of Jerusalem from the gate of Ephraim to the Horne gate, 400 cubits. And he took all the gold and all the silver that were found in the house of God, with Obed-Edom, and the treasures of the king's house, the hostages, and returned to Samaria. And Azariah the son of Joash king of Judah lived after the death of Joash son of Jehoahaz king of Israel 15 years. Now the rest of the acts of Azariah, first and last, behold, are they not written in the book of the kings of Judah and Israel? Now after the time that Azariah turned away from following the Lord, they made a conspiracy against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish, and they sent to Lachish after him and slew him there. And they brought him upon horses and buried him with his fathers in the city of Judah. Chapter 26. Then all the people of Judah took Uzziah, who was 16 years old, made him king in the room of his father Azariah. And he built Eloth and restored it to Judah after the king slept with his father. 16 years old was Uzziah when he began to reign. He reigned 52 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was also Jechaliah of Jerusalem. He did that which was right in the sight of God, according to all his father Azariah did. And he sought God in the days of Zechariah, who had understanding in the visions of God. And as long as he sought the Lord, God made him to prosper. And he went forth and warred against the Philistines, and broke down the wall of Gath, and the wall of Jabneh, and the wall of Ashdod, and built cities about Ashdod and among the Philistines. And God helped him against the Philistines and against the Arabians, and they dwelled in Gerbal and Mishma. And the Ammonites gave gifts to Uzziah, and his name spread abroad, even to the entering in of Egypt, for he strengthened himself exceedingly. Moreover, Uzziah built 2 towers in Jerusalem at the corner gate and at the valley gate, and the turning of the wall, and fortified them. He also built towers in the desert, and digged many wells, for he had much cattle, both in the low country and the plains, husbandmen also, and vine dressers in the mountains and in Carmel, for he loved husbandry. Moreover, Uzziah had a host of fighting men who went out to war by bands, according to the number of their accounts, by the hand of Jaleel, the scribe of the Messiah, the ruler under the hand of Hananiah, one of the king's captains. And the whole number of the chief of the fathers and the mighty men of valor were 2,600. And under their hand was an army, 300,000, 7,500 that made war with mighty power to help the king against the enemy. And Uzziah prepared for them throughout all the host shields and helmets and habergeons and bows and slings to cast stones. And he made in Jerusalem engines invented by cunning men to be on the tower and upon the bulwarks, to shoot arrows and great stones withal. and his name spread for abroad, for he was marvelously helped till he was strong. And he was strong in his heart, he lifted up his destruction, for he transgressed against the Lord his God, and went into the temple of the Lord to burn incense upon the altar of incense. And Azariah the priest went after him, and with him 80 priests of the Lord that were valiant men. And they withstood Uzziah the king, and said unto him, It appertaineth not unto thee, Uzziah, to burn incense unto the Lord, but to the priests, the sons of Aaron, who are consecrated to burn incense, to go out of the sanctuary. For thou hast transpassed, neither shall it be for thine honor from the Lord God. Then Uzziah was wroth, and had a censer in his hand to burn incense. And while he was wroth with the priest, the leprosy even rose up to his forehead before the priest in the house of the Lord, and besides the incense altar. And Azariah the chief priest and all the priests looked upon him, and behold, he was leprous in his forehead. And they thrust him out from thence, yea, himself hastened also to go out, because the Lord had smitten him. And Uzziah the king was a leper until the day of his death, and dwelt in several houses, being a leper, for he was cut off from the house of the Lord. And Jotham his son was over the king's house, judging the people of the land. Now the rest of the acts of Uzziah, first and last, did Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amoz, write. So Uzziah slept with his fathers, and they buried him with his fathers in the field of the barrow, which belonged to the kings, for they said, He is a leper, and Jotham his son reigned in his stead. Chapter 27. Jotham was 25 years old when he began to reign. He reigned 16 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Jeshusha, the daughter of Zadok, and he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all his father Uzziah did. Howbeit he entered not into the temple of the Lord, and the people did yet corruptly. He built the high gate of the house of the Lord on the wall of Ophel. He built much. Moreover, he built cities in the mountains of Judah, and in the forest he built castles and towers. He fought also with the king of the Ammonites, and prevailed against them. The children of Ammon gave him this same year 100 talents of silver, and 10,000 measures of wheat, and 10,000 of barley. So much did the children of Ammon pay unto him both the second year and the third. So Jotham became mighty, because he prepared his way before the Lord his God. Now the rest of the acts of Jotham, and his wars and his ways, lo, they are written in the book of the kings of Israel and Judah. He was 25 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 16 years in Jerusalem. And Jotham slept with his fathers, and they buried him in the city of David, and Ahaz his son reigned in his stead.
Second Chronicles chapter